In this video, we're going to look at the Smart Dimension tool more in depth. The Smart Dimension tool is a really powerful tool that you're going to use all the time once you start building things in 3D. One of the things that you can do with the tool is Smart Dimension between things. So instead of just Smart Dimensioning a line like this, you can Smart Dimension between two lines or between two shapes that aren't even connected. So instead of doing this line like this, I could do the dimension between this line and this line, and that number comes out to be the same. Okay, another way that you can Smart Dimension is between points. So if I put a line from here to here, I can Smart Dimension from this just this point to this line. And this lets me put in a specific measurement just for that. Okay, another thing you can do is angles, which I think I did show once before, but I can do an angle between these two lines and change that. Okay, last thing is when you fully define a sketch in SOLIDWORKS. So this means that nothing on the sketch will be able to be moved or changed or anything. This is really what you want to do for each sketch that you make. When it's fully defined, then things can't get messed up, which is what you want. So for example, if I was starting this shape, I would do the measurements around all the sides. Okay, so if I want this to be Okay, now the last thing I have to do is connect this shape to the origin. So the origin is this point right here. All my sides are Smart Dimension, but you can see all the lines are still blue because it's just floating in space now. So I can move it anywhere on the screen. It's not tied down to anything. So to connect to the origin, you can do two Smart Dimensions. So I can Smart Dimension this line to my origin. See how that line turns black now? That means that that is now fixed in place. You can't move it anymore. And then I can do this line to my origin. Okay, and that will turn the rest of the shape black. So now that I have it fully defined, I can't drag it or move it anywhere. And this is really what you want to do when building shapes in 3D. You want all your shapes to be fully defined. Okay, now there is a little bit easier way to do that. Instead of Smart Dimensioning to the origin each time, if you start from the origin with one of the corners of your shape, that will automatically connect it to the origin. And so now you'll be fully defined. Okay, so there's a lot of things you can do with the Smart Dimension tool. The biggest thing that people mess up and get frustrated on is being able to tell which things are selected. So when you click on, for example, the center of the circle, this little blue dot here means the center of my circle is selected, and it's waiting for me to select something else. So if I go and try to select the outer circle now, it's not going to work because I have the center selected. So if you're trying to do the outside of a circle, you have to just click the outside. If you want to measure from the center of the circle to a different object, that's when you're going to need to click the middle, and you can put in that dimension. Okay, so there's some little tricky things like that where you have to be just careful on what you click, but overall the Smart Dimension tool is one most helpful tools in SOLIDWORKS for getting shapes to be the right size that you want them to be.